So we have Edward and William Coulter on guitar. That was something you would never hear at the Ramsey House. They'd throw you out. Are you enjoying yourselves? How about my friends up there in the rafters of the farmhouse? You're closer to heaven up there. Which tells me something about these people down here. My grandmother always thought that there should be some secret passageway between heaven and hell, because she thought she had good friends in both places and wanted to be able to visit them both. So she thought it would be great to be able to go to heaven for the climate and go to hell for the company. That's why I'm down here. And speaking of climate, my goodness, these past couple of days, you get sunburnt. Although Irish people never get sunburnt, they're much more likely to rust. And, you know, by the end of winter, maybe like May or June, the first 5 days come in Ireland and people start taking off their clothes, they're no longer white even. We're like this pale blue. And it's well into summer before we actually turn white. and then we go straight to lobster red. If it's a good summer. But growing up in such a small place as Town, I needn't say, of course, that everybody knew everybody, and everybody knew everything about everybody. Everybody knew everything about everybody's family for generations back. There were people there who considered it their moral duty to know your business better than you know it yourself. It was a slow, peaceful way of life that allowed everybody's life to unfold in a slow and gradual way. And even today, if you want to enter the parish, our end of the parish of Town, you'll climb up this long, winding road, narrow road, that climbs up the hill of Knocknashooker, and that's the hill that separates our end of the parish from the rest of the known world. And when you reach the brow of the hill, you're looking down at all the green fields, and across the valley there's the hill of Knocknashooker, where my mother's people came from. And you might even be moved on a fine day to poetry, as Thomas Moore was, when he wrote, you know, I forget who he wrote. That's what happens when you get to be my age. Someone said to me recently that I was reaching a difficult age, too young for Medicare, too old for women to care. But we too had our excitement at the far end of the parish of Town. And one of the most exciting days of the parish that I remember, I was maybe 8 or 9 years of age, and this day is still remembered in the parish of Town. It's called the Day of the Elephant. And if you were to go into any pub of the parish on any night, and you called out, does anybody remember the Day of the Elephant? You might, with any luck, be surrounded by 2 or 3 storytellers, all of whom would have a story of that day, completely different to each other, even though they were describing exactly the same events. It was called the Day of the Elephant, and on that day, out of the jungles of India, came rampaging, trumpeting triumphantly down the slumbering main street of our village, a large, enormous Indian elephant. Trumpeting so loudly, so ferociously, that the windows in half the houses on the street were rattling. And the earth under my feet, I remember it well, it seemed to shudder with each ponderous step that elephant took. And trumpeting, heaven help us, pipes were falling out of the mouths of old men, followed sometimes by the half set of false teeth. And in the case of one prosperous gentleman, the full set fell out. Backing dogs that were known for their aggressive nature scurried indoors to hide under chairs and tables. Young children hid behind their mothers' skirts, the mothers and indeed some of the fathers buried deep in their pockets trying to dig up the rosary beads to ward off the imminent danger. And 2 widow women that were previously thought to be very good friends and were renowned for their piety were seen to be having an unholy war over a wooden crucifix. A crucifix that was also supposed to ward off danger if you had it in your possession. Oh, people were blessing themselves, and much weeping and moaning and gnashing of teeth. True teeth and false teeth. And I was enjoying every single minute of it. This rampaging elephant, people said he was like an avenging biblical beast, that he was ready to raze the village to the ground, leaving not a stone